Hi, Alina here, your celestial HR VTuber slash Isekai boss slash Truckman's boss, but 24/7 Astarian lover. Wait, did I say I'm an HR IRL too? I stream BG3 a lot, just chatting, and a lot whole of karaoke on my channel. I've been singing since I was young, loving pop songs, Disney, and musicals. I hope you enjoy the show, people. See you. Thanks. Bye. Oh my god, what is the stream when it's not scuff? My goodness. Hi. Okay, hello. Hi everyone. I'm so sorry. Hi everyone. This is Alina May, your again HRV tuber, and welcome to our HR Connect podcast. Hi everyone. Also, hello Celis for rating us. Thank you so much for the raid. I know you are gonna be supporting your friend here, Riko. And thank you so much everyone for joining in the raid. I hope you guys enjoy this lovely podcast. And hello, a shrimp, um, a shrimp na mid switch back. Yes. Hello. Let me answer you real quick. I hope you guys like that introduction video. That is me. I'm your HR VTuber. I'm your Isekai boss, and I would love you. I would love to welcome you guys to a new uh a new episode, or our last episode for this season's HR Connect. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you guys are having a good Saturday or Sunday if you are in the Pacific, GMT plus 8. Yes, yes, yes. And I would also like to welcome you guys. So HR Connect is a podcast that tackles adulting life, work life, and of course your journey about VTubing, where we also share knowledge and wisdom to every generation. If you're new here, if you're old, if you're young, you are definitely welcome here. I do have an 18 plus stream, but and would love to make sure that you guys are not minors. And yeah, I I am very happy to help people out in regards with corporate stuff. I do give out advices every now and then during stream. And yeah, I am an HR IRL. Yes. So, just like our friend, um just like our guests right here, Riko is also a real nurse. IRL. Yes, aside from being a VTuber. Thank you. I hope you guys learn a lot about on this stream. I do upload our episodes on my YouTube channel. Just search for Alina May uh on YouTube, and you guys will be seeing covers and at the same time episode. I have already interviewed a real doctor as well. I actually knew Riko from that doctor, Saikin MD. Um HR is pretty different where I work. Yes, there's actually a lot of types of HR, not just your usual ones. But I will be tackling that in a different episode. For the meantime, I would like to welcome our dear guest. Um, Rico is a registered nurse educator. He says that he is a self proclaimed bard when he is not on the clock or educating. He goes on adventures by playing games and or touring down bardic inspiration or singing. Yes. So he actually attempted streaming as a VTuber initially last year, but in 2023 his previous nursing job cannot wasn't able to give him the time to dedicate to streaming. But this time around, this past summer, he got advice by a lovely lycro banana she that changed the trajectory of how he wants to produce content. So now he creates scripted shorts and long form videos. And since then, he pivoted from where he started to where he is now as a VTuber. So both in terms of how he create content and who he is now able to create content that works with his career schedule. So we are going to be looking forward to more content from him, and hopefully he can stream regularly at some point, sometime in January. He has been also a registered nurse since 2020, but he has been a nurse since 2012 when he was earning his vocational nursing license. Yes, yes. Medical field is definitely hard, and I really applaud everyone in the medical field because they have the patience, the dedication to actually be a registered nurse. Yeah, so basically he was trying to earn his nursing license from 2012, and he's now been registered as a registered nurse this 2020. Yes. And so again, without further ado, I would love to welcome our lovely guest, Rico. Rico Shempre. Let's go. Rico's here. Hi, hi. I hope you are having a lovely day. And thank you so much for agreeing to be a guest in my podcast. I love interviewing professionals, and hopefully, uh hopefully you guys can learn a thing or two from us, from Rico, definitely for sure. Can you guys hear him now? Can you say hello, Rico?
Hello,
There. Can you guys
my
hear him
name
now?
is Riko. Hello.
There we go. Okay, that's perfect. Can you guys hear him?
Kamusta ka na po?
Audible, perfect. There you go.
There we are.
There you go. There you go. It is the Christmas season. Hopefully, you guys had a good Christmas. Did you have a good Christmas, Rico?
I did have a good Christmas. The entire month has been relatively busy with the holiday schedule at the clinic. But we get by. Unfortunately, some of the staff did get sick, so I did have to step up and fill in the gaps for staffing for some of my
Sheesh.
nurses. But hey, it comes with the job being a clinic manager.
Sheesh. What a hard working guy. See, this is this is the job of medical people in the medical field. Always on call, I see. Are you like on call? Like usually the people I know were like on call when they're in the medical field. So I
I'm not necessarily on call. My position is I'm the clinic manager at my outpatient dialysis clinic. So,
mm-hmm.
I primarily handle oversight for everything that say that covers that for the that for Medicare
Mm-hmm.
looks at
Yeah.
for reimbursement. So that means whatever the government pays us to to make sure we give proper treatment. So basically, we make sure the metrics are good.
mm.
We need to say, do we give quality care? And so far, so good. I mean, not to brag, but we did place third on our region, so that I'm happy about
Hey,
that.
congrats. And it's under your supervision too. So, you know, good
So
job. Great
I'm gonna
job.
take that win where I can, considering we were dead
Yes.
last year.
Sheesh. What a good
Yeah,
improvement. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I did, and I'm very happy because I was hired on to this specific position back
Mm-hmm.
in October of last year. So I'm really happy
Wow.
that we were able to get it turned around.
That's such a fast turnaround. That's a good. You should be you should be proud. That is a proud achievement. That is really good. Also, Vito here says there's a demand for male nurses, so stay strong. I really
Yeah, there is. It is predominantly not to say anything against my other colleagues, but it is
Yeah.
primarily white female nurses out there, and it was
Mm-hmm.
evidenced by me being surrounded by my classmates in nursing school.
I actually agree. Like most nurses I know are actually female. So it's actually nice to see male nurses around in the hospital as well.
Oh yeah.
You guys do a lot of heavy lifting, to be honest, as you know, especially for patients as well. So
Well, that's the unfortunate part, because we are always expected to do the heavy lifting,
mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, because of that stereotype, that's how a lot of my the progress towards my back injury happened. And
Oh my. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and that's why, unfortunately, that's why I went towards more to this position as a clinic manager, because I can't be on the floor as often as as a floor nurse does, because I can't be bending over backwards
Mm-hmm.
working on central lines like my colleagues in the hospital are not. But that's why I work outpatient, because it's not as intensive as.
I see, I see. Well, at least, even though you're not like super in the field, I guess, like doing a lot of heavy lifting, at least, the what you've mentioned earlier, making that big turnaround in such a short time really shows how quality your work is.
Well, it wasn't it was no easy task.
Mhm.
Because this is actually my first management position that I've had to
Oh,
really tackle.
nice.
Um, I
Mhm.
mean, but this is after years of being on the floor
Mhm.
in outpatient dialysis. Like you said, I've been a nurse for since like in a, for
Mhm.
tw- since 2012, but I've been working in dialysis since 2016. So I know a lot of the ins and outs since from working then,
Mhm.
and so I apply a lot of my experience from
Mhm.
working on the floor and managing, and to the management job. And um and the thing is, it's a lot of people who go into management come from like other management positions,
Mhm.
when the thing is that you need to build them up, um and have that perspective. And I think, at least from how I see things, when you lose that perspective of being on the floor, it kind of gets lost.
Mm-hmm. At least the
So
experience you had like really speaks for itself.
mhm,
When doing this role this time. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I think it's been really valuable, because I have a counterpart, my facility administrator. He handles operations like staff scheduling, the business operations, um, and the plant, the facility, and
Mm-hmm.
we work in tandem together, because one person alone can't manage the clinic. But we make an excellent partnership, um, running the clinic together. And so I have to say, we've really grown together as managers of the clinic, and so I owe a lot to him in learning how to be a more effective manager. Thanks, and I think he's learned a lot from me in terms of how uh, how things work clinically, and how it works from the clinical perspective.
Mm, that's good. That's good. See, we are already seeing, how even in the hospital, there's still like corporate stuff that you can learn from it. You can learn a thing or two. A good supporting partner
Mm.
does make it easier to get the job done. Yeah, like really good colleagues actually really help with how your job really works. Having good team, like, how do you call that? Team dynamics. There you go. Having really good team dynamics really works out with whatever role you are in, and having a really good team and colleague would push each other to make the best work as it is.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Avita
Oh, go
has a
ahead.
question. for
Sure.
Rico. He says, I've heard of being a clinical manager, especially managing nurses, is like wrangling cats. How does your experience compare to that description? Oh, yeah, that's a good
Ah.
question. Mm.
so, yeah, talking about wrangling cats. Yes. So, I've actually had to run solo this the first 2 weeks of December,
Mm-hmm.
um, when my manager actually went on vacation to Japan, which I was mad jelly about. And I had to manage a clinic basically by myself. So unfortunately, there were a lot of call outs from both my RNs and my PCTs.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was rough trying to find coverage to see who can slot in where. And in the meantime, I still have to do my job as clinic manager, trying to manage patient outcomes, manage their care. So you can imagine just juggling all of this on top of trying to make sure the clinic is still running and still fully staffed. So when I couldn't find uh, an RN to help cover, like say for the day or so, it led up to me needing to cover the floor. And say there wasn't enough nurses to cover for like um say for the full coverage. So say I had an opening nurse but I didn't have a closing nurse, and there wasn't any nurse in between. So sometimes I'd be working, instead of like 12-hour day, it's a 15-hour day.
So you'll be covering their shift. Uh,
Yeah, and more.
mm.
So yeah, and that's been the case the entire month actually. Like I've had some call outs where I've had to
Mm-hmm.
basically cover the floor multiple days. And thing is, with my job, um I work 5 days a week, usually, emphasis on
Mm-hmm.
usually, 8 hour days. But some of those days become 12-hour, 15-hour days, so it does get a bit tiring.
Mm-hmm. I
But
think
yeah,
I
it's
think as a manager, you know, you really have to you have the responsibility of covering your team as well, because
mhm.
you are the overall you look out for everything in the team. So con-
Yeah, and for me, I think it's and how, as much as I need to show directive, I also
mm-hmm,
want to show that I need to lead by example too. Like, leadership also needs to show that, you need to show that you need to get down and dirty as well. Which,
mm-hmm,
you know, not to throw shade at my upper manager, at my regional directors, at my upper managers, but they're nurses as well. But I don't see them getting down and dirty.
that's good. Okay, I do have Vito has a question, but we are going to we'll ask that later on because
Mhm.
I think one of the question also links to that. I will put that on hold, Vito. Okay. But for the meantime, let's ask things about Rico first. I know like work stuff is very interesting, especially as a manager. People would love to be in a position like you have. So I'm pretty sure they're excited. But I would like to know who Rico is first. So can you tell us who Rico is? Can you tell us more about yourself?
Who is Rico? Gosh, that is
Yes.
a
Who
exceptional
is
question.
Rico?
God, I mean, how to answer this question? I guess I can start by giving you all my credentials and licensing. uh, yeah, we can start there, I suppose, and then work our way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got. So I earned my licensed vocational nursing uh license back in 2012, like you said. Then I became a
Mm-hmm.
registered nurse in 2020. 2020, that year, big,
Mm-hmm. Big
where
year.
everything went to. Yeah, so I was tested in the fire. That was COVID-19.
Mm.
It was rough for everybody. um
True.
That's when I got. So yeah, I got my associate's degree in nursing in 2019 in community college, and then I had the bright idea to go straight into a bachelor's degree program at my state university.
Mm.
And think, oh yeah, let's have that college life I always wanted. Um, maybe take it easy, enjoy it, maybe enjoy a game, basketball game, join some clubs.
Mm.
Then obviously 2020 happened. I'm like, oh, this is fun. This is great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, which fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
During the summer, during the summer 2020, I was supposed to go to the Philippines and Japan for a month
Oh.
because I was saving up money because like I wanted to celebrate graduating from nursing school finally. Because it took me such a long time to get all of my prereqs and just get through nursing school because it was such a long endeavor and so much hardship. I wanted to
True.
finally celebrate, but then COVID.
COVID
So what did I
happened.
do? Yeah.
What
So
did
what
you
did I
do?
do? I used that money I saved up and instead I spent it on tuition for summer sessions at my university. So that way I can
What?
graduate so I can graduate with my bachelor's in 1 year.
What? That is what? That is so
Yeah.
hard. Just that is how many years is a bachelor? It's just like 4, right? 4 or more,
More
5?
so with my LVN, I went to LVN. So LVN is 1 year, and with the program I went to in my community college, it was LVN RN bridge. So it became another. So it became just the 1 year. So
But
1 year for RN,
mm,
and then for the RN to BSN program in my university,
yeah.
it was as long as you wanted it to be. So
Mm,
I could have just taken it for I could have just done like a year and a half, 2 years. I
yeah.
really wanted to take it easy, but because it was COVID and I had nothing else better to do except work and stay at home
Mhm.
and work and stay at home, I said, screw it. I'm going to do something productive
Yeah.
and just get my bachelor's degree. So I
You
got it
basically
within 1 calendar year.
you basically expedited your process on like
I
um
did.
oh my, I didn't
So
know even know that's possible. What? Oh
it
my god.
is.
Yeah.
If you are as insane enough as I am, you can get a bachelor's
Jeez.
degree in 1 year. Um,
Zealous is actually
yes.
right. That's a lot of work in a short time. Yes.
Oh
That
yeah.
is true.
So with my bachelor's degree,
Mhm.
I actually also was able to attain my public health nursing license in the state I live in.
Yeah.
Um, so what that allows me to do, it lets me work as a public health nurse for my state if I so wish to, or like within my county for a city, because that lets me. So that's a focus on public health, um, which focuses on treating the population
Mhm.
or and taking care of the community. So a lot of my training in my bachelor's degree focused on community health as well. So I know a whole lot about trying to take care of people, taking care of people and community as a whole.
Mhm.
So um, and my last credential, which I just earned this past November when I was on medical leave of absence, is my certified nephrology nursing. So
Ooh.
that means I'm a certified bean expert. I know a whole lot about the kidneys. I mean,
Wow.
I'm not a nephrologist. I'm not a kidney doctor, but I can tell you for certain that I know how the kidneys work and how as a nurse because I've had experience working both in hemodialysis, peritoneal
Mm.
dialysis, and I know a little bit about transplant and about the different
Mhm.
modalities enough to tell you, yeah, the kidneys are my jam, my beans.
So
Yeah,
your
they're my beans.
specialty, I see. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, kidney work is
Uh,
crazy. It does. Yeah. They do say that
yeah.
you have 2 kidneys, and then you can live with one, but like, please do
Yep.
not. That's gonna be your other kidney's gonna work over time. So,
Mhm.
my God.
But yeah, that's my professional life.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I've been working dialysis since 2016. I haven't stopped
Yeah.
since then. It's
Sheesh. You've been working
working
hard.
yeah, nephrology is my bread and butter. Um, I love the thing, but nursing is, it's my jam. I like doing what I do. Personally, who I am,
Yeah.
that's that, that is. Sometimes ask myself that question, like, how do I answer that? I am an avid gamer. I've been so since the day I was born. I
Mm-hmm.
blame my father for this, and he regrets it because he got me a Sega Genesis and Sonic the Hedgehog
Oh.
before I was even born. I didn't know what I was looking at, but I knew I loved it.
Sheesh, father actually started the gamer streak then. And I passed it on to you.
Yeah, he did. He did. um, and yeah, I grew up just playing that, and it just went off from there. I grew up watching anime when I was a kid. I always checked out the Sailor Moon dubs and uh, and Dragon Ball Z growing up.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
watched both the English and the Spanish dubs on my local television. So
Oh.
like I was I was really into that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, God, and that and jeez.
See,
Um,
he started young as a gamer. this is
oh yeah.
That's how it is really. It's a blessing, yes.
Yeah. So but yeah, my other than that, my so yeah, I grew up with a bunch of hobbies growing up. My parents
Mm-hmm.
uh got me well, specifically my Lola. She got me into piano lessons when I was younger, and so
Ooh.
I know how to play the piano. I'm very rusty, but I did get a wonderful Christmas present from my wife Annika, who's in chat right now. Hi, sweetie, I love you. Um,
Hi.
um, she got me a piano, a fold-up piano that connects to the PC, so I can
Oh.
actually start recording some stuff with it. And my sister got me a piano stand
Sheesh.
too, so that way I don't have to like make room on my desk. So that way I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. So
Wow, a
yeah, so I'm
nurse and a
finally gonna.
musician and a gamer too. Wow.
Yeah, I also
Very
play
busy
guitar.
man.
Yeah, I also play
Well, really?
guitar. I'm self-taught. Um,
Wow. Got
I'm not that great. I'm not that great. I'm an amateur. That's for certain.
But still you know how
Um,
to. That's so good. I tried learning guitars before, but oh boy, it's such a big one. I had to learn a ukulele instead.
ah, yeah.
Guitars are hard to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, music was a big thing with growing up. But yeah, I love singing too.
I
I when I catch your karaoke streams, I kind of find myself singing along as well.
Pipino is always karaoke, of
Oh, you
course.
bet. Never stop.
We take that seriously. Yes. Oh, Vito
uh,
is asking like, which style of guitar do you do? Finger style, picking, or strumming?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
You just play. You just play what it feels like whenever like whichever song that I see.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's okay. If I'm gonna say, probably just straight up strumming. I try to pick.
Strumming.
I fail at it, so I usually try to stick more towards finger style. Only
Mm.
because I can't pick fourth beans. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
wait. Okay, now I realize. Okay, now I
Yes.
realize why you said you're a bard because you
Yeah.
also play music. Ah, that's so
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
That makes sense now. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's why part of the reason why part of the reason why I actually started try to do VTubing a year ago
Mm-hmm.
was I initially started out as a bard,
Mm.
because that's how I wanted to be. On my off time, was
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
I just wanted to have fun, go on adventures, sing and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just didn't have the time. Uh,
Mhm.
but but after I got that advice from Licorice Banashi, um, I found out like, hey, I also want to do education too. And for me,
Mm.
and it's like, you know what, I can do that and that too. And so, but another piece of sound advice I got was also from my wife.
Mhm.
Um, was that I'm a whole person, and I'm not just a nurse, but
Mhm.
I need to embrace every aspect of myself. And so, yeah, I can be a VTuber RN educator, but I can also be a self-proclaimed bard too. Why can't I be both? I'm not just going to
True.
fit into the one. I'm not going to fit into one niche. I'm not just going to fit into the one thing and talk about incessantly. Let me just do all the things.
Mhm.
So yeah, I release educational health videos and shorts about, maybe one day stream about health education. But let me jam out every now and then. Let
True.
me show, like, a bit of talent and skill. Am I the greatest? No, but let me have some fun with it.
I mean, like this platform really allows us to be, what we want to be as well. And I do relate in a sense because, like me, I'm also an HRL, but like I do singing. You guys can see me singing every now and then, and watch me play. So like this platform like is I think I would say would be a place where I could just be me, and it's such a
Exactly.
good feeling. Yeah, because you don't have restrictions of like also no judgment because I like me maybe because for me I think myself I um me VTubing is a secret, but that yeah, that is why like I can just be free whenever I stream and just be myself without any judgment at all, like anything. It's
I,
this is my safe space to be honest.
I
Yeah.
totally get it, because
Yeah.
not a soul at work knows what I do here.
Me same. Oh my god. Okay, that actually tackles one of our questions. I do ask. I do ask like my guests here whether is them being a VTuber a secret? So I guess yours is also a secret. Yeah.
Just only at work.
Only
Nobody
at work.
knows at work, because part of the reason why I wanted to do this as a VTuber is, a lot of it comes down to, um my action what anybody can want to do in terms of actions against my licensure.
Mm-hmm.
um it's something I need. It's my bread and butter. It's how I earn money. It's how I practice. It's how I take care
Yeah.
of people. And anybody can launch some jerk off complaint about, oh, hey, this so and so decided to give, like, bad care or something like that out of nowhere. And I don't want to be investigated by my state board for some lousy claim. And next thing you know, they come a knocking on my clinic, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? And I'm like, next thing you know, we get scrutinized.
True.
Why would I? Why would I want
Also,
to do that? And
they
like put
don't
my
need to know, right?
yeah.
Yeah, what did Anaki said? It's not lying, it's just omitted. They don't need to know.
Yeah. It's and so, like, does my work know I do this? No.
Mm.
Do I talk about it? Not really. Like, do they know I watch VTubers? Probably. Um I do, like, they probably see me, like, geek out and, like, mention it every now and then, but do I make myself known that I'm a VTuber? Nah.
Yeah.
Uh does my family know? Yeah, they do. Are they aware of it? Like, how deep in
How
the hole I
deep?
am, or like
Yeah.
how, like, much community, or like how many people know me as one, or like, how or like how I know other people. Probably not. But that's okay. I mean, they're I hate to say it, they're old fashioned Filipino folks. I love them.
Same. I actually agree. My family only knows I stream, but they don't really know in depth of like what I do, like what kind of things I do. They just know I play and I stream. That's it. But they don't really know
Ah,
the extent of like what I'm really doing in this space. And I actually like that they don't really pry further, cause I don't plan on really telling. So this is my safe space, and I'd like to make it, you know, me,
oh
myself,
yeah.
and I. Yeah. Except for, of course, like other VTuber friends, but it's a different thing. IRL
I
friends, they don't know as well.
I think the only person who really digs more into it is
Mm-hmm.
my mom,
Your
but only
mom?
because I won't say she digs more into it as in terms of trying to find out more about VTubing. It's just that she's more interested into my
Mm.
career as a VTuber only because she's a nurse as well.
Oh, that's actually nice to hear that she's like interested on um how does this work as a nurse too. Yeah, and Vito said, he says here, I think that Filipino families would be more likely to understand. uh I think that Pinoy are pretty deep in social media circles as a modern culture. Oh, they do. Yeah, I
Mm.
think that's one thing I'm glad at least that they're very open to uh whatever happens in social media. There are pros and cons, to be honest, but as someone who works as a content creator, it works for us because they wouldn't really ask a lot of questions. They would understand, like, okay, they would probably think that it's just a normal, you post stuff and so, but don't really pry.
Yeah, yeah, and but at the same time, it's part
Mm.
of it is that with my folks that it's also that comes like from a traditional mindset. They
Mm.
always want to know what's going on as well. So
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like,
true. Every
yeah, it's like they want to know every aspect of life, aspect of your life. It's like, mom,
the Murray testing.
yeah, I'm 30 something. Like, I, it's like you do know I have my own life, right? Like, well, you're always my boy. I'm like, yes, I am. But I got some things I need to keep to myself too.
I guess that's where, like, Filipino families are really tight knit as a family. Um, yeah, but it has, again, pros and cons when in terms of
Yeah.
like your privacy as well sometimes. But I like the concern because, like, they want to keep in touch with you. I guess.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. 30s, you're not too shabby. Yeah, what do you mean? 30s are still young. What do you mean? 30s are, I guess, like in this time of age, I think 30s is just where your life really is starting. Because a lot of like 20s, mid 20s persons I know are still, still struggling to find themselves and like learn about themselves. 30s are like
Oh,
where you really see, oh, wait, I'm this. And, sometimes that's where you find what you want to do.
oh yeah. I completely agree. I
Mm-hmm.
think during my 20s, I was very much still trying to figure out if I really wanted to be a nurse
Mm-hmm.
or like, did I really want this career path? Was I even trying? Um,
Oh. Mm-hmm.
yeah, but then but then after my whole back injury and a lot of self introspection, I think that's when I really got the motivation
Mm-hmm.
really really understand like why I do the things I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really what really lit a fire under my butt and made me
Mm-hmm.
understand like, okay, you know what, I gotta live me for me. So here I am, let me do
That's
things
good.
the way I want to do.
That
Well, you
actually
know,
leads
I gotta do
me.
things for what I want to do. Sorry.
No, go, go, go. That's fine. That's fine.
But you were saying.
I was actually going to just bridge it to our next question because I was gonna ask like what made you go choose the medical field in your specialty? Since you mentioned the beans are your specialty. What made you choose
Yes.
that one?
So, what made me go into the medical field in
Mm-hmm.
healthcare?
Yeah.
Um, my mother did not believe in me. To quote Jokoi.
Why really? What?
uh, um, believe it or not, I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
get into musical theater.
What? A music That's so far off. Musical and then medical? What? Oh wait,
Uh,
you know what? This actually feels like a deja vu. I remember Saiken also mentioned that he
uh-huh.
also likes to be in the theater field and then he went to medical
Yep.
afterwards.
Yep. Uh-huh.
I
Yep.
guess that's why you guys are friends then.
I mean, I can't say that I've interact. I mean, I would like to say we're friends, but we haven't
We
been
haven't
able to
one.
play. We haven't played together enough or
Mm,
interacted as much as we'd like to say. But
I
I
see.
know we're definitely in touch a lot in
Mm,
Discord. So, but one day I hope we can actually say that.
mm-hmm.
But is there a doctor nurse relationship? Yes. I can joke comfortably about
Mm-hmm.
that.
I see.
Um,
Your acquaintances
and
then.
I can at least say I can say throw a bro at him and we'll be
Mm,
good. So there's
I
that.
see.
Um,
I can see the
but
connection though, like
yeah,
a
we got a good
pattern
connection.
in itself. Theater and the medical field. I think a lot of people.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, but yeah, I definitely did want when I was a young lad, younger
Mm-hmm.
Riko. During high school, when I was in choir, I did have potential, at least according to my choir teacher. I did have potential for going into like say music or theater. Um, given my well, when I did have a little bit of talent when I was still there,
Mm-hmm.
uh, with my singing, and I thought, oh hey, maybe this would be something I could do. Um, but my parents, being Filipino parents,
Mm-hmm.
they were like, "Oh, is it stable enough? Is it something that you could do long
Oh.
term?"
Mm-hmm.
And that whole spiel about, is it something you can, uh, depend on? And they're like, "Oh, you can do that as a hobby or like on your off time, but be a nurse first." And that's the thing, is that something, being young and impressionable,
True.
um,
True.
you listen because hey, your parents are your guidance.
Mm-hmm.
So I followed that, and that's what kind of led up to like me questioning, is that something I really wanted to do? 20.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then I grew to love nursing. I
Mm-hmm.
grew to love to take care of people, and to find out that people there are people in need, and
Mm-hmm.
people need to be cared for, and um, there are people who need help in the world. So I think I decided to really embrace that. And so it's not necessarily the path I envisioned myself when I was younger, but it is
Mm-hmm.
definitely the path I'm choosing now.
Mm, I see. Well, that's good to hear. Like, cause we do hear stories of like about like how parents would sometimes force their children to choose this field because it would have it would give them more money or like a more stable job, and like these children won't be into it eventually, but
Mhm.
like it's nice to
Yeah.
hear that you eventually learned to love what you're doing, and now you're enjoying what you do. And I guess they did a good job with choosing which field you should be in, because I
Well,
guess they know you at that point.
I think a part of it is I can't. I think part of it, like, from where they were coming from, it's no disrespect to them.
Mm.
They knew it was stable, and you know, you're always going to find a job.
Yeah.
And but when I've talked to other nurses and I've talked to other people in the field
Mm.
in healthcare and health allied healthcare professionals, doctors, you know, and sometimes it's not for them, and
Yeah.
you know, it's just a job, and that, you know, and that's totally valid. It's sometimes it's something to make money,
Mm.
and you know, and that's okay. That's fine.
Mm.
But
Mm.
for me, um after my back injury and after losing my Lola, and you know, and God bless my Lola, I do miss her. Um,
Mm.
I was taught a lot about, you know, a lot about empathy growing up, and from her. But did I really understand it um,
Mm.
on that deeper level?
Mm. Mm.
Um, Going into it and as a nurse, you know, or getting into nursing school, or after getting my license LVN. So after my back injury, um, it was really an experience because next thing you know, I'm on the other side as a patient,
Mm.
and here I am now. I have a lifelong disability.
Mm.
I have an injured back. I have to protect that at all costs. You
Mm.
know, I can no longer run or jump anymore. Um,
Mm.
I can't walk on the beach like normal people. Every step is dangerous for me.
No.
Um, an inclined hill or a grassy knoll I can take a spill and tumble. That's you know,
How
it's
serious is it? Mm.
yeah. I like yeah. My If you see my reference, my reference for my VTuber model, um, you see how I wield a cane. That's not just for show. I actually use a cane to walk
Mm.
around in real life.
Mm.
Um, Usually in short distances. But if I'm going out and about, I use a walker. But yeah, I. But because I've experienced that as a patient, as someone who has a lifelong disability,
Mm.
understand what patients go through and what difficulties like that what it brings with. And so for me, knowing what they go through, it really motivated me to be like, you know what, they need to be taken care of because I was there too, because I'm just as I could have I am because I am them, they're me, and they need
Mm.
someone to be there for them. So that's why I do the things I do.
Sheesh. I guess that's where um I think it's a good kind of a blessing as well, I guess, to see both sides of the coin at this point, because in with as what she said, you learn to appreciate and understand what the patients are feeling because you experience it yourself. So I get
Yeah.
that's a very that's a like I think for me it goes full circle in your world, because you understand both sides now and you appreciate everything at this point, and that's
Yeah.
good to
Yeah.
hear. mm. And I think a lot of people, because sometimes people would take a would be like disregarding that part, because again, as what you said, some in the medical field would just treat this as just their job, nothing else. But unlike
Mm.
people who also understand the other side of the coin, it makes more sense and it makes more meaning,
Mhm.
and that's where I guess the empathy works as well for you. And I guess
Yeah.
that's also, I think also that stems with where how good you are in with your job now, because you learn to appreciate the small things this time, and it's nice. Very good
Yeah.
learning. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
uh yeah. To answer the other part of that question, why do I choose why nephrology, why
Yeah.
dialysis?
Why
um
the kidneys?
I was influenced because of my mom. She's also a dialysis nurse.
Oh.
Yeah, she's worked it for the longest time and still works it now. Actually,
Oh,
um,
sorry.
we
Wait.
were.
Your mom is also a nurse?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's still working and still actively practicing.
Oh yeah, you did mention that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
we were. That's okay. We actually before I got my my current job, we actually used to work for the same company beforehand. So,
Mm.
funnily enough, when I did work with the same company a couple years back,
Mm.
a lot of people thought, "Oh, that's Rico's mom's boy." Like, "Oh yeah, hey, I remember you when you were a little kid." I'm like, "Oh my god, this is it."
Mm-hmm.
Yes, hi, yeah, I'm her
You're the
boy.
little
Yeah,
Rico.
yes, it's little Rico. Hi, yes, thank you. Yeah. And when I call up the doctors, it's like, hey, aren't you little Rico? I'm like, yeah, thanks, doc. Anyways, here's the patient report.
Wait, do you work alongside your mom?
A couple times I did. Um,
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah. Um, but is it a little awkward sometimes because what do I call my mom like on the floor? I'm like,
Oh, true. Yeah.
it's like, what, uh, mom, Miss So and So's labs are this. Do you want us to go ahead and pull a? Oh God, this is awkward. And she's like, oh yeah, go ahead, sweetie. I'm like, God.
Oh, that's
But
so
now I work
cute.
for
Mm.
yeah, but now I work for a rival company.
Oh.
But
Mm.
the fun thing though is and I'm pretty sure even Sai can even attest to this.
Mm.
Specialties are a small community, so everybody knows everybody.
Mm.
So even though I work for a competing company in dialysis in
Mm.
nephrology, um,
You guys know each other?
we all everybody knows all the doctors, everybody knows all the nurses, all the techs. So even though even though we're directly competing, I literally know like the managers across the way.
Mm.
Like my wife works for the competing dialysis company. That's actually where we met.
Oh my god, what a love story then. Sheesh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another tale I'll probably tell another time.
Okay, okay. Your wife also says here, to be fair, if someone with a disability doesn't see others able to overcome it, how will they know they can too? That's actually inspiring as well. Like,
Yeah, so I I uh
mm-hmm.
I that's part of the reason why I keep doing what I'm doing, because disability shouldn't stop you from doing what you doing
Normal.
what you believe is,
Mm.
doing the profession you think you can do. But at the same time, you also need to know your limits as well. Like, I know I can't work at the hospital because there's not probably going to be a lot of accommodations for me there,
Mm-hmm.
but I can still be a nurse in my own way. Like, can I work at the ICU and or the or the emergency department and start doing chest compressions like uh, every 2 3 hours on a new admit? Probably not,
Mm.
but I can use my brain and work
Help out
oversight
still.
and help out every now and then on the floor, and and I can place my clinic from dead last to third.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So so there you go.
That's good. That's good. I'm just wait. You did mention that your mom is in the same medical field, but like, why is it just that why you chose the beans as your specialty, or was there
Oh, the
any?
nephrology.
Yeah, yeah, or was it?
um
Go.
oh yeah, so quite honestly, yeah. It's
Cause
something
mom.
I grew up around with. Like, I remember growing up, uh, when when we only had the one car, and
Mm.
my dad needed to with wait for my mom to finish up work at the clinic. My dad would have to bring me along because we didn't have a babysitter growing. So sometimes
Mm.
we'd wait inside the clinic,
Yeah.
because it's cold out there some days at night, and so just sometimes I just hang out in the break room, and then sometimes my mom just against policy, would show me off to her patients, and they were like, "Oh my God, little
There's a
Rico!"
kid. Ah, that's so cute though. Hi,
Yeah,
Frosty. Yes, hello. Baby Rico already in the clinic. He
yeah,
he basically lived, or like, been around in the hospital, I guess. I guess that's a lot of influence from your mom in terms of um where you are now. And it's
yeah.
actually nice
She
because
did.
she lets you explore and learn more about what she does, and that's really cute. She's a very hands-on mom from what you have been telling, and it's really
Yeah,
nice. Mm.
even though she didn't believe in my musical theater adventure, she definitely still believes in me,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
believes in my skill and my knowledge,
Mhm.
but she still does school me from time to time. I mean,
Aw.
she definitely has more than 30 years on in terms of experience.
Kudos to mom though. Sheesh. Vito said, "Is it a crime to believe that children should be given a front seat to jobs like nursing?" I guess it's a good. I think it's a good learning ground for people, to see how things really are, and how things work. But it also is a bit risky because hospitals are also, it could be you can get sick in a hospital too
Yeah, it depends
sometimes.
on the context.
Yeah, so but I guess, like, at this part on how Rico's mom actually exposed him to the world of the medical field. um it's actually nice to know because he like she actually lets you into her world, and you get to appreciate stuff, and that's really cute and nice. And yeah, I feel like your mom's really sweet. I feel like
She is.
like Filipino nurses are always, very very momsy. You can feel the motherly love always. And it's really cute for you. It's good to hear. Uh. Okay. Moving forward. Thank you, Rico, for sharing
Of
your
course.
mom. Um can you also tell us now, what was your thought process of doing educational content as a content creator or a VTuber? Like, what made you choose uh to be a edutainer, basically an edutainer? Yeah.
So part
Mm-hmm.
of me really wanted to find a way to address I think what I feel is a gap in our current, at least I want to say our current generation and our current community, in terms of addressing health and medical concerns, because we live in a world where we have 24/7 exposure to all this information coming at you everywhere, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I would even say express, most of the time it's wrong information. um
Mm-hmm.
um Especially when sometimes it would go viral, or say it would just spread like that.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you combat that? How do you show, like, what's factual, what's the truth, what's something that's can show that's evidence based? And for me, um i wanted to I wanted to try to address that in my own way. And part of the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I wanted to be a VTuber or an educator, because I think there's a lack of that. um
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of taking my cues um from from both Saiken, and I'm pretty sure you're aware of Doc Shiori Pon.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I'm a big admirer of their work, um, and for me, and I'm glad they do the things they do, and I admire both of them profusely. Um, Especially Doc Shiori, how she raises all so much money for her patients over there in the Philippines. Um,
She does a lot of charity works, to be honest. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy she does. Um,
I hope I get to get her on the show too. I would probably. We'll see.
I
In the
hope so
talks.
too.
In
I
the
definitely tune
talks.
in if you do.
I do
uh,
hope so. I hope I get her. She has been really prominent in the medical VTuber um space. And it's
yeah,
nice to see, you know, to see the person who inspires my other guests as well. Be nice to see.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I see Doc Shiori, I see Doc Saiken, and they approach things as doctors, from medicine, but you
Mm-hmm.
don't see things from the nursing standpoint, um, because and or other allied health professionals, and that's the thing. There's more to healthcare than just medicine. Healthcare is holistic. There's more to it than just we're going to throw medications at it. It's more than just the anatomy and physiology of something.
Mm-hmm.
It's an all-encompassing thing, and that's where I
Mm-hmm.
want to approach this from being not just a nurse but also a public health nurse. So if you've gone to my YouTube channel, seen some of my shorts, I
Mm-hmm.
don't just address disease process or like how certain medications work or why things work, but I
Mm-hmm.
also address public health things or like some history. I had I addressed in my most recent short how during the winter season, like, do you actually get a cold, the cold
Be
from cold
cold.
weather? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. You get it because unfortunately you get the cold from other people who have the cold. It's just unfortunate. It's just when you're cold, you want to go indoors, but you're inside with other people who are sick, and that's how people, get
Get
the
get sick
cold.
too.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's how it happens. We just associate the cold with getting sick because unfortunately that's how it happens. And correlation doesn't cause isn't causation. And but unfortunately it's information like that gets thrown around a lot
Mm-hmm.
in this hyper fast you know 1 minute TikTok or YouTube short scenario where
Mm-hmm.
people's attention can only be caught for so long. So that's what, I hope I can try to capture at least a little bit in terms
Mm-hmm.
of what I'm trying to provide in terms of education,
Mm-hmm.
at least through my shorts or say through my scripted content when I do release my long form video or when
Mm-hmm.
I eventually do decide to do streaming.
I see. That's actually nice. Didn't know that you actually get exposed to, or you actually get sick because you got exposed to someone was sick. It wasn't just because of the weather. So.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
and a lot of the spotlight for and I think my wife actually mentioned in chat that a lot of the media spotlight is put onto doctors when a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the care is administered by nurses, by the
True.
patient care technicians, by respiratory techs, by physical therapists, speech therapists. It's more than just the doctors. There's a whole plethora. There's a whole team out there that works together. And I will emphasize Saiken's point from your previous podcast. We
Mm-hmm.
all work together to make it work, and we're all collaborating together. The
Mm-hmm.
we all collaborate with the patient in order to make sure that care is fulfilled, because that's what the make sure what the patient to fulfill the patient's needs, and direction, and we do so in in the direction of what the patient wants, and that's the most important.
I see. I actually realized that one as well, like on the previous podcast, like when Saiken told us that it's really a team and that there's really differences on like what type of doctors actually helps out, like in like who helps out in the ICU, who helps out like in the hospital itself. Um,
Mhm.
the different kinds of doctor who manages outpatients and inpatients. I didn't know that there was like different kinds at all like
Yeah.
generally, like people would normally know you're a doctor, you should know everything, and like that's not how the case is.
Yep.
um
Nope. That's not how this works.
yeah, so like it was a very enlightening episode, to be honest. So if you guys haven't watched that, watch it. Psychic really provided a lot of insights on how hospital works. And actually, I was able to met Rico that time, and it was a really enlightening episode. It was very good, and like learning it now, that we can really appreciate the other healthcare staff of a hospital other than doctors. You get to understand that there's a lot more happening in the background, not just what the media would emphasize as the doctor doing everything.
Yeah, and part of the reason why I wanted to emphasize myself as a VTuber RN
Mm-mm.
educator is that registered nurses can also teach too. We're
Mm-hmm.
and that's part of my skill set when I'm in my clinic is that I'm always teaching my patients. I'm always educating them. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not gonna lie to you, half the time, I get patients who come into my clinic new to dialysis,
Mm-hmm.
and I talk to them like, okay, do you know why you're here at the clinic, getting dialysis? And next
Yeah.
thing I hear from the patient is like, I don't know, my doctor just said get the catheter, just come in here to the clinic, and then I'm putting my palm in my face, and I'm wondering, Jesus, doc.
They didn't even mention why they need to be there. What?
Sometimes yes,
Really?
sometimes yes. Uh huh.
Oh.
Uh huh.
They just
Yeah.
they just
Uh,
they, they just say, okay, you go here and then do this one, and then they just follow
yeah.
it. I
Sometimes
mm-hmm.
yes, and I'm like, Jesus, doc, do you even talk to this patient? Oh my god. Not to say that they're
They
bad doctors,
um,
but sometimes the bedside manner is lacking.
they just basically did a diagnosis and just tell them off.
Yeah, which kind of goes back to my point of like
Mm-hmm.
trying to be empathetic to the patient's point of view. It's like why aren't we doing like why would why if you were just told to be there, get this plastic tube, get stuck down your chest, and be told go to this clinic, get your blood taken out, put in through a filter, and put back in, how would you feel about that?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's like let me give them a proper explanation and education, so that way they're not out of the loop.
True. That's actually a
And for
nice gesture. Not it. That's actually an extra effort from your part.
yeah,
Educating
and
them.
yeah, and I feel like I think for me and being an RN educator, at
Mm-hmm.
VTuber RN educator, I think as a community I think that we need more of that. And yeah, we can throw around all these explanations out there, um, all this news out there, but a part of it is also I would like to disseminate that and explain it in a lot simpler terms, and
Mm-hmm.
show that, hey, you have this condition, perhaps it'd be easier to understand if we talk about it in this way.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, there's this medication that's out, or there's this treatment that's out, let's talk about it. So maybe we can understand it better if we can if we make an effort to try to be better communicators about it, and and communication can make or break care. That's the juxt of it, and that's what I found lacking in terms of at
Mm-hmm.
least reaching our generation or the new generation
Mm-hmm.
of being out there in media or the internet, in
Mm-hmm.
which I'm trying to bridge the gap.
That's actually a very noble effort. That not everyone would be thinking of bridging that. I guess that's the same as me, because there's also a lot of misconception about HRs as well. They would normally have a connotation of like, oh my god, HR, it's a bad thing, but technically it's not. there's a lot
Mm.
more going on as well on my part. And yeah, I guess I really relate into where you're coming from as well in terms of bridging the gap and at the same time correcting the misconception that they have in their minds and explaining really what we do, you know. um that's actually a really nice goal to be in, and thank you. That's
Yeah.
really nice to see, you know,
Yeah, of
making a
course.
difference, just small steps, even though even so is still good. Hopefully, we get to share further what our goals are, you know, hopefully. Yeah, HR kind of got an in from me where everyone works, to be honest. Like, they always have a bad connotation, but really there's a lot more that we actually can provide, a lot more that we can actually help you out, aside from just, you know, people telling HR is just about the company. No, not every time. But anyway, moving forward, I think this would align now to what Vito was asking earlier, of like, what
Mhm.
are your thoughts on the nursing pipeline from education to the workplace? Should it be faster? Should it be incorporate more hands-on experiences? Should it be focused on internships? Because you did say that, you know, not all doctors would be giving the explanation of why this is so to patients. So do
Mm.
you think that there's a gap in between where it comes to, you know, maybe they need to be more hands-on in internship, or like what do you think? So
So, so here's the rough part: is it is a very complicated answer, and because it's a nuanced answer.
mm,
There's a lot to it that I can't properly explain in, you know, in one go, but I'll try my best. I can only really speak to the American healthcare and the education system here.
mm,
Um, but part of it is that we're expected to churn out, um, to know what's expected of us. You need to know this, and that.
mm,
Um, you know, you need to know the vitals. You need to know these signs and symptoms. You need to know these things so you know how to treat it. Um, I'm pretty sure this applies from being a doctor. This also applies being a nurse.
mm,
This applies to any kind of allied health professional. Um, does now Can you teach bedside manner? That's another issue, because bedside manner comes with empathy, and empathy isn't necessarily taught
true.
as a standardized subject in
Mm-hmm.
school, because it's taught anywhere and everywhere. Empathy is taught at home.
Within
It's taught
yourself.
within yourself. It's taught with
Mm-hmm.
friends. It's taught at, you know and everywhere that you encounter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you can't just force empathy or force feed empathy, or make someone empathetic, because that's
True.
something that
You'll learn.
you learn, that grows with you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you know so and that's part of it, is like, we and part of it is like, sometimes, the clinicians do have that disconnect where, hey, patients are suffering from this, or having this, or, and sometimes you would have that stereotype, you see in like those medical dramas where, like, they would say with a straight face, they're all
Mm-hmm.
stoic, and they're like and they're unemotional, or they crack jokes about it, or some stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the unfortunate part. And that's and that's the thing. It's can't teach empathy because it's experienced.
Mm, I see.
So yeah, at least in terms of that education. Um, so I mean, it's going to be different for everyone. Um, but part of the reason why I think I think I had a long Blue Sky post actually about empathy building and online harassment. Part of it is being able to share your stories, being to share who your triumphs, your failures, everything, because in order to build empathy, you have to be able to be witness to it. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
if you want to be able to build empathy, you have to be able to share with other people. So part of the reason why being online, chronically online, is kind of bad for all of us. So you gotta touch grass, which is
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate, which is something that you don't really get with our educational system because we're
Mm.
always so focused on learning these. We're always focused on learning these required subjects to be a good worker, to be a good laborer,
Mm-hmm.
instead of learning to be human, instead of
True.
learning to appreciate each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's that's the hard part. Now, if we're talking about the nurse education or doctor education um, to profession pipeline,
Mm-hmm.
part of it is also the lack of, I would say, educators. At least I can probably only say this in terms of nursing. Is the lack of educators within that pipeline because of how, I hate to say it, um, poorly reimbursed nursing educators are. Um, so, say for example, I would love to be uh, an educator
Mm-hmm.
um, at a university one of these days.
Mm-hmm.
That requires a doctorate, which God, I want to get that doctorate sooner or later after my wife is done with nursing school one of these days.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but unfortunately, the pay is not going to be great because
Mm-hmm.
you can earn a whole lot more money working for a hospital on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Why should they? They need you there rather than teaching the next generation. So unfortunately, the educators that are still on board close to close to retiring. They don't have as robust a skill set or as robust a knowledge
Mm-hmm.
as the ones who are currently working. Like say
Mm-hmm.
myself, um, I'd say that I want to get into education because for me, I know my limits on the floor, and I'm perfectly fine not earning as much because for me, education is a passion. I like teaching,
Aw.
but I can't say everybody would have that same passion as I do
True.
for making sure that the next generation is taught and make sure like they have that same um, quality of care is passed on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's part of the issue is that it's a systemic issue of
True.
how of
True.
how of how we of how the educational system works is that we don't reimburse our teachers enough.
I
But
agree.
I could go on a rant.
Same. I actually agree. Like for me, stuff stems with how you were educated, and
Mm,
that's actually your foundation in life. Having really
it is.
good teachers would be very helpful with how you will be. Your outcome as an adult, because basically that's where you learn a lot of stuff. Empathy is also one of them as well. Being around people, being around with someone who can be who has the passion to teach. It's really a good venue for the young ones to really know um what what wisdom they can take from these really good educators. And it's just sad that um the government to be honest, like almost everywhere would not be really as appreciative to these lovely teachers. And that's also, I guess, the reason why there is also a decline of educators as well, because of this. Because they should have, they could have been compensated more, could have been appreciated more. Because again, when you're an educator, you build the foundation of the kids that you are with, that you're teaching. And
Hmm.
it's just sad that it's not the case now. because everything is like okay, money pass not passing stuff. It's sad um to realize, to be honest. But yeah,
Yeah.
I applaud your, I applaud your passion to teaching. It's not everyone is um not everyone can be an educator, who has the passion to really teach. And it's nice to see someone who still has that passion, Again, a noble, very noble goal. And hopefully there's a lot more people like you. Yeah.
What can I say? I'm a big old nerd about my job.
I also agree, like, like educator, like teachers now sometimes are, I guess, we need a fresh new eyes in terms of like what really is happening. We need younger teachers. I understand, like, people, like older people would have a lot more wisdom, sure, but like sometimes they're not as updated as what's currently happening now, especially after COVID. It's like a big turnaround on how educating system works, because a lot of people, or a lot of children, actually learn just online, but nothing, nothing where nothing where hands on could have been, they could have learned that. um but yeah, it's really, um I hope things would change, things can get better. And again, please
I do
appreciate
too.
your teacher, everyone, educators out there, appreciate them, because they're your foundations in life. You need them as much as they need you. You need them more. Yeah. And yeah, thank you, Rico. Okay, oh my god, we turned into a very deep topic all of a sudden. But that was a really nice point of view. And I hope we get more people like Rico here to educate children better. Because we really need that. Yes. um Moving forward, thank you.
Of course.
Can Vito also has another question. I love your questions, Vito. I love this questioning. So he asked, like, on the business side of things, how do you
Hmm.
feel when you hear a patient say, "I want to hear a second or third opinion"?
That's totally fine. As it should. Um, if they want to have another opinion from another doctor, that's well within their right. Um, because every patient should have that choice. Um, because sometimes, depending on a doctor's experience or knowledge or education,
Mm.
not every doctor is going to get it right the first time or second time. Sometimes they need another set of eyes or another set of experiences or skills to be able to find the right diagnosis. There's been a lot of people out there who's been misdiagnosed, um, for the wrong with the wrong things, when in
Oh.
fact it's completely different, a completely different disease or illness or
Mm.
something that they're suffering from. So yeah, it's totally valid that they should if they want to get a second or
Do you
so.
guys not feel like offended when like patient would ask you about that, like, cuz some people would think that as, do you not trust my judgment, or something like that?
No, honestly, if any any good clinician worth their salt should be offended.
They should be fine with that question, you're
Yeah, of
saying.
course. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, I have a patient of mine. They want to transfer clinics because they're unhappy with their appointment time, with
Mm-hmm.
the chair time we have at their they have
Mm.
at our clinic. And we try as we might. We try to accommodate as best as we can, but we simply cannot give him the exact time he wants.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's his choice to want to transfer clinics, and we're not going to stop him. I'm not going to be offended because that's his choice. It's within his right. I'm not going to
Mm.
stop him, and neither should any of us. we would like we would like a valid reason, but hey, you know what? That's the patient right. That's patient advocacy there. That applies to anybody who chooses care with any provider they want to. That's how this works because that's their right. So
Mm,
we shouldn't take that away from anybody.
I see, I see. Well, thank you. That was enlightening. So again,
Of
guys,
course.
if you have, if you think you need more opinions with what you have, this is Rico saying you're okay. Do that. It's fine. Okay. Um. All right. Moving forward to our next one. Uh. Okay. Let me just double check our question. Okay. Let's move to what were the difficulties of being a nurse and trying to put out content?
Oh God, just having enough free time to do anything as a
Not enough
VTuber.
time. Mm.
Oh God, um, especially like since December rolled around, I've been trying to push out this long form video that I've been, that's been in production, that I've been trying to get out like forever, and it's supposed to be about the childhood immunization schedule and how important it is because of its importance to public health and how it's changed the world for the better since
Mm.
then. Um, and unfortunately, it's been on the back burner because hey, guess what? My job comes first. It's I gotta cover for my nurses. I gotta do my I gotta audit the clinic. I gotta make
Mm.
sure all the patients are receiving quality care. That's the thing, and I
Mm.
still gotta take care of my own health, and I gotta take care of my wife. I gotta take care of my parents too. Those are my priorities. As much as I love being a VTuber, and it's an amazing hobby.
Mm.
And I love interacting with everyone's community, your community, Celeste's community, and you know
Mm.
everybody around me. I got to put that as my priority because it's
True.
that's my life, and it sucks, but hey, I'll do what I can with what I got. But that's why I really appreciated like a Licorice Banashi's advice about being able to do scripted content because I can do it on my own time, and
True.
there's no pressure to stream at all because hey, I can just work on it when I find the time.
Mm.
um, so, um, but yeah, it's so like, but that's why as much as I want to do more long form videos, shorts have been my bread and butter so far. Because hey, I can do this within like about 2 3 hours. Just be able to pop out a short script, 1 minute, one and done.
Mm.
Find some nice audio, find something to talk about. Hey, I encountered this at work. Hey, this would make a nice video. Hey,
True.
don't you know? Did you know this? So yeah, it's kind of nice being able to do that. So, um, but yeah. It's so it's just rough to find the time as working as long as I do. But where I can fit it in, I will.
That's good. I think that's very relatable to everyone who is also who is also a professional. Really finding that time, to really put out what you wanna have as a content. It's very relatable. I think like as for me as well. It's very busy at work. Like the only time I can really stream is during weekends and weekdays, and sometimes it feels like I really don't have time to put out to put out edits as well. So I'm happy that at least you still have the passion um to pursue the being as an educator, with how your content is, and um it is really an effort. So thank you so
Of
much.
course.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Next question. Okay. I guess this is a good um question from Vito as well.
Hmm.
He says, "Could you share the most rewarding or fulfilling moment you've experienced thus far in your field? What lessons would you okay, I would ask that what lessons, but can you share your most rewarding moment in your field, I guess?" That's
My
fine,
most
Vito. Ask your questions. Those are really nice. And everyone in chat as well, if you guys have questions to
my
Rico.
most rewarding
Mm,
moment. Oh God, we had this patient. He
okay.
he was only 16 years old.
16. Okay.
Yeah, but he was born with bad kidneys, so he's needed dialysis since he was a kid. So
Wow.
yeah, poor guy, poor kid. He's so it sucked seeing him just come after school and come
Mm,
to the dialysis clinic. You know, he's surrounded by all these old folks, and here we have this young kid, and it's like this is not a life. He
for a
doesn't
young
deserve
kid.
this.
Yeah.
And like, holy crap, no! Like, here I am, like a young guy, and here and this kid needs to be out there with his friends, living his life as a teenager, and he's stuck here with a bunch of us folks. And and a lot of the other patients felt the same because we're like,
Mm.
no way, he doesn't deserve it. So when we found the news that he was finally able to get a transplant, um,
Oh.
that's when we all lit up. We were all so happy for him because we all worked so hard to make sure he was able to get it.
Oh, that's so sweet. Was the transplant successful?
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
oh my god, that's such good news. Oh, you
Yeah,
guys
Annika
cried.
was there too. Yeah, we all cried.
Oh my god.
Yeah, a lot of the
Wow.
patients were
Crying as well.
very happy. Um,
Yeah.
so it's yeah, it was a very rewarding moment for all of us because
Oh.
all that effort was worth something. Um, I don't know where he's at now because it's been some time, but I really hope he's off to culinary school, learning to be a chef like he said he wanted to be,
Mm.
and living the life he deserves.
Ah, that's such a good moment. I love that. That's so good. I wish he's living the life he wanted. Especially now he
Yeah.
has that one. Does he
Hmm.
still does he like maybe visits you guys, or was it the last time you guys saw him?
It's been years, so I can't say I can't say I've seen him. I'm not
Mm.
sure if he ever popped by in the clinic. This is pre-COVID, so like I don't
Ah,
know,
I see.
but I just hope he's doing well. I don't know if he, I
Mm.
don't know where he is, but I just hope he's
He's
doing all
doing
right for
well.
himself. Yeah.
Ah, that's so sweet. And yeah, I would agree. That is a very fulfilling moment. Thank you for sharing that. Um, okay, Avita has another one here. I think that this is very relatable. Um, so he says,
Hmm.
being a nurse who seems to naturally grow close to your patients, how do you deal with this survivor's guilt that you're bound to have? Even if you weren't the one facing the trauma, I know that empathy can sometimes create bonds that may need further assistance to severe. Oof,
Oh God,
that's
yeah.
a
That
big
that
one.
one's that one's a hard one. Me and my wife Annika actually, yeah, this one's really hard. Me and my
Oh.
wife Annika really experienced this one. Yeah,
Mm.
when it hit hard. This was one patient we loved to death. Um,
Mm.
God, um,
Are
I can
you
give
are
her
you
first.
okay with sharing it, or I
I
mean,
can share it. I can
okay.
share it. I'll share it because guess what? It's not cringe to share emotions, and you know what? And
True.
that's cool. You know
Yes.
what? Men can cry too.
Yes, agree.
So,
Definitely.
so yeah, me and my wife, I miss her. Her name was Mary. I
Hmm.
miss Mary. She was she was like this. She was like a grandmother I never knew I need. I never knew I had. Well, of course I had my Lolas, but she grew to be like the next next best thing to a grandmother. She was always asking us like how we were and stuff.
Mm.
She always popped in and always asked how we were doing at school, and she was the sweetest thing. Um, always thought about us, even though she was so sickly and so even though she was dialysis.
Mm.
She just she was always the but she over the years with dialysis, with her conditions, she doesn't get you're not going to get better,
Mm.
especially with her diagnoses.
Mm.
I hate to say it. So thing is though, when we found out that when she died from a car crash of all things,
Oh my god.
what the hell?
Oh my god. Okay. Oh, that's all of a sudden. Mm.
Yeah. And that was the sad part too, because like I think our main regret between me and Annika was that she we always we me and Annika were dating at that time.
Mm.
We never we always teased, um because we were keeping our relationship on the down low
Mm.
in the clinic at that time. We're like,
Yeah.
"Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like who are you dating and stuff."
Mm.
Um and we we, um we she and sometimes and Annika would tell Miss Mary like, oh yeah, like my boyfriend, me,
Mm.
uh is going out to do we're going to do this and that, and they talked about how like their plans are going in, or like how they'll go on a date, and then Miss Mary would be like, oh, your boyfriend sounds like such a wonderful man.
Mm.
She would just light up whenever she would did talk about our relationship. So when I found out that she died in a car crash, all of a sudden, I'm like, what the hell? She deserved to pass away in bed,
Mm.
surrounded by her loved ones, in hospice, comfort of her own home. Not that way. So yeah, it's hard
Mm.
sometimes when you're working as a nurse that uh, works with people long term, like, because you get to know these people. Um, you get to know their lives. You get to know them. You build bonds. But I don't regret any of them, not at all,
Mm.
because they're etched into my heart forever.
Mm. I guess
And I'll,
she's one memorable patient, and that's so sad though. Um she could have been in a better position, I guess, than just. Whew, that was a big one. That's a big blow. Oh my god. That's
I
so
know, I
sad.
know. It was
Oh my
sad, but
god.
it's the dangers of the job.
Hmm.
It's you get to know these people.
Mm.
At least in my position in long term care or
Mhm.
in tertiary care, because you get to know you knowing these people and getting to know them, and in some ways learning to love them, um understand
Mhm.
them, um learning to care for them,
Mhm.
even though like professionally, you're not supposed to you're supposed to have some sort of distance.
Mhm.
Your heart eventually grows, and
True.
to have them as part of your life, because you see them, at least
Mhm.
in our line of work, they're part of your daily lives, and then one day they're not there. And so sometimes it's painful,
Mhm.
but I don't regret any of it, because it's it's what carries me. Those memories carry me, and they carry me in what I do.
Mhm. That is so nice. I guess it's part of like, being human as well. I feel like nurses are very empathetic persons. I can feel that in Rico, and sheesh, like, having that kind of experience really. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Um but thank you for sharing that. Really,
That's
it's
okay.
it's it's a sad experience, but at the same time, I guess, she imparted um a really, um like a really, big contribution in what you guys are doing now. And it's nice at least to be remembered. At least we
Yeah,
remember her. um
of course.
mm. Ooh, okay, that's. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Ooh, okay.
It's all right.
Mm, okay. I don't know. I'm not really good with deaths. I guess that's why I chose the isekai route. Cause, but yeah, but
So,
yeah, it is a heavy topic, true. But I like that you guys at least, still remember those people who really made an impact in your life. And at least having them remembered still, so it still brings out the memories of at least we met them, and yeah, hopefully they are living in a better place now. Yeah.
yeah, they are.
Hmm.
I know they are.
I'm happy. Thank you. Yeah, moment of silence for sure. But I hope, I think that's one of the things that they have, that you guys have in your shop. And uh thank you for being strong. You guys really have a tough job, like especially meeting a lot of people where they are in their vulnerable state, and you guys are there to support them. Not everyone can be as empathetic as you guys. So,
We
um,
try our best.
yeah, and it's not always, you know, um, it's not always rainbow and sunshines. True, but you guys being there is already a really big emotional support, especially if you guys, get along with the other patients as well. Um, it's a very hard job, and thank you. We appreciate that very much, very much.
We try. Sometimes not all. Not sometimes we don't always succeed. Um, but
Mm-hmm.
we do our best.
Yes. And that's a good part from it. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's I hope Mary is in a good place, and hopefully she's happy on where she is right now. Thank you. Thank you. Um okay. Let's move on to the next question. Again, thank you so much for sharing. I know
Of
that's
course.
a it's a very heavy topic, but appreciate you sharing it to us. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, let's go. Okay. Whew. Thank you. All right. Let's do another question. I guess
Mhm.
this is one from one of the things that you like to correct as a educator or content creator.
Of
Um,
course.
do you have any misconception about nurses you wish to debunk?
Okay. Yes. My job is more than just a fetish.
Ooh.
God. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't enjoy seeing like the whole nurse cosplay with all the, the art out there, or like an actual IRL cosplay and
Mm.
stuff, or like all the sexy nurse thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, but it's uh, it's come on. It can we move forward from that? I mean, it I'm not saying okay. I'm not saying don't move forward from it. It's uh, I'm a guy too. I get that, but 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 it's part of it is like it's more than just nursing is more than just that. You know, nursing is it's profession. It's we do our best to care for our patients, and we're just and we have our own ups and downs, and it's a science as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's an art. um and to see it sometimes where it's just kind of like devalued, um
Mm.
or just see it's where it's like, oh, it's just like a trend, or like or it's just like a something to like make as like, oh, hey, or like to make a character out of, like, can we, I'd like to see it like be portrayed a little bit better. um
Mm.
that's why, for me, um I why I decided, like, in terms of my my VTuber character design, I wanted to show myself, like, this is what nurses wear. We wear scrubs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm an RN educator. This is what nurses wear. It's not a frilly dress. The it's not the cap. This is what nurses wear every day. We wear scrubs. We wear a name badge. We wear a stethoscope too, just like other doctors, other clinicians.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, um, we're not trying to turn you on or anything. We're professionals. So it's, we're not. It's it's that's the complicated. That's my complicated feeling about whole
Mm.
nursing,
The
about the
nurses
nurse fetish
being
thing. It's not that
ah.
I'm against it, but it's like we can also do a little bit better. 'Cause
Mm.
sometimes the context is a little bit, uh,
I
you
guess
know,
there's just a lot of people like um has fetishes in regards with oh a nurse, jeez.
like I get it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against. Like I said, I'm not against it, but I'm like,
I wish it could have
hmm.
been better. Yeah. And,
But it's like when it's like the whole like that whole like cop fetish or firefighter fetish. There's
oh
probably some people who would say other things too about it, but you know
yeah.
what? Hey, it's your deal. I just think that in terms of like the whole
mm.
nurse thing, it's like, mm,
I guess it's being taken care of that probably some people would see it. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like sometimes people get into nursing and thinking that's like, oh, you're gonna get yourself a hot doctor after getting
mm.
your nursing degree and be like, oh yeah, that's it. That's all I need to do. No, involves actual work. This involves actual knowing the actual things. We're not just cleaning up after patients. We're not just following the doctor's order, or just
Mm-hmm.
being at their side all the time. No, we're actual independent clinicians that make judgment calls all the time. We're managers, we're educators,
mm-hmm.
we're all of these things. We fit so many hats. It's not just the one stereotype that we've been quartered down to in a costume shop somewhere in a seedy part of Los Angeles.
mm-hmm. Vita says
So,
the attraction is in the hard work and the dedication you see.
ugh, Jesus.
But I get I
Ugh.
get I get your point. Totally, totally. I guess it's just something that a lot of people sexualize because again, some people would love to be cared for. And I guess as part of your job, it's something that, they see. But again, that's
Mhm,
not consent people to sexualize
mhm.
everyone or anyone. Please be respectful to any
Of course.
jobs. Yes,
You know,
cuz
I mentioned I remember mentioning I mentioned this. I remember, and now I remember this little story.
uh-huh.
I went to Anime Expo
Ooh.
a while back, and
Mm.
I think it was like a couple years ago, 3 years ago, and I remember there's like this. God, I think there's like this person, this lady doing a nurse cosplay of like
Mm,
this one character, and
yeah.
then like I was asking, I'm pretty sure I was drunk that time.
Ooh.
uh,
Okay.
I was asking, oh hey, can I get a blood pressure reading from you?
Mm.
Or like, can I get a pulse or something like that? I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And then she brought her stethoscope and put it
What?
at my wrist. I'm like, that's
What?
when I sobered up immediately, and I'm like,
That's
okay, you
not
know
how
what?
that
You're doing this
works.
all wrong. All right, here, let me show you actually how this works. Okay, you got to put it right up to the chest, and here, this is the apical pulse right here. This is where you're gonna hear the heartbeat. Okay, where you're hearing what you're doing right now is wrong.
Oh my god. That's a funny thing though.
Yeah,
I
and
guess
that's
they're
when I'm
just
like,
really cosplaying. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I'm just like, dang, that great. There goes my buzz.
You immediately sobered up. Jesus.
Yeah, that's how it be.
I guess it stems yeah, I think also Vito it says it's in touches a symptom of loneliness. I think most fetishes stems into psychologically inclined stuff. Yes. But
Oh yeah,
then again, people consent and being respectful should always be something you should have. Again, as Riko said, that's just not uh that's not how it works. They have real job and they have, they go through a lot of works to become a nurse and being in a medical field. And let's not disregard that effort. Yes. We're going to I don't want to venture on that. That's a very deep topic, I would say. But again,
I
um
mean, I know some psychology VTubers.
mhm. I think as a HR we did dive into psychology a bit. But again, uh I would say that a lot of things stems into what happened to you, trauma and stuff. Um
Yeah.
but yeah, thank you for debunking that misconception, Rico, and please do not sexualize people normally. That's not good.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, Vito says, what are your thoughts on cells at work?
I love Cells at Work. It's like one of my favorite anime series of all time. Go watch it.
Is it medically accurate?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Uh-huh. I mean, yeah, there's some liberties about how it's some certain stuff is like represented, but yes, everything's on track. I wish Cells at Work was available when I went through nursing school.
A lot more.
It would have made so much my entire schooling much more sense.
I guess if you are into medical field or you like medical stuff, cells at work. Recommended by Real RN here.
Oh yeah, that I 10 out of 10 would recommend. Also watch Cells at Work Black because it tells you how
Mhm.
a diseased body works too. It's great.
Ooh. Nice. Oh, thank you so much for staying. Sorry for that. Well, thank you again. Our Rico here suggests cells at work. He says it's pretty accurate, medically accurate. Yes. I actually learned something about that, like the how the scars work, and um, I think that's my most memorable episode. It's the first episode. How the scars work and like the little children, the white blood cells and stuff.
Oh
It's
yeah, that was the second episode.
was it second or first?
Yeah.
Oh,
The first
second.
episode was how the sneeze
The
works.
bacteria.
Yeah.
Yeah. Virus. There we go. Yeah. The virus came
Mhm.
to me. And they can hide. What? Crazy.
Mhm.
But yeah, that is. Thank you. Okay, recommended cells at work, people.
Well, technically that wasn't a virus the first episode. That was
Was it?
Staphylococcus aureus. Oh
What?
no, it's Streptococcus aureus. That was a bacteria.
Is it a bacteria? Ah,
Mhm.
okay. I thought like I thought like sneezes or like cold are like viruses, isn't it? not
No,
viruses.
they so it doesn't matter if it's a bacteria or cold. It does a sneeze, cough is supposed to expel any kind of foreign matter or organism or anything that's lodged there, in an effort to expel whatever is possibly invading the
The
inside of the
body.
body.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Mm. I see. I see. Well, thank you. That's
of course.
that enlightened us. Thank you. Another question. In the
Yes.
West, what pop culture media would you recommend that's both entertaining and educational?
Oh, in the West. Oh God. Okay. Geez. Like in terms of healthcare or just in general?
Maybe shows. Maybe like series like House MD. I watch House MD.
No.
Not House MD.
House sucks. I'm in
Medically
terms of like
accurate stuff.
I would say mm, eh, maybe uh uh in terms of Western media that's both educational and entertaining. Honestly, I'm gonna have to vouch for extra history
Yeah.
and Crash Course.
Crash Course. Is that a series or
Yeah. Ever heard of the Vlog Brothers? Hank Green and John Green.
not really. John Green, I think I heard.
Yeah, yeah. They have this whole series on YouTube that covers like different topics about like not just history but
Mm.
science, um, but different like they cover like a whole multitude of topics, and it's
Oh.
yeah, like I would highly recommend it. Um,
Do
uh,
are like what do they show like things accurately, like factual or
yes, yes.
really?
Uh
Oh,
huh.
that's good. Okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
So I
Mhm. Go
Oh
go go
yeah,
go.
so no, sorry. No, everything's and that's the thing, where I so part of like what I try to do with in my most current when
Your
in
create
my long form
content.
video that I'm trying
Mhm.
to create, and with my shorts is I cite everything I do.
Mm,
I
that's good.
And so that's the same thing with like what extra history and crash course is doing. What they do is they cite all of
Their
their articles, all
resources.
the research. So I want to make sure, um, academically I do the same thing, because
Mm.
you know I back up, because if I want to say something, I want to back up what I say.
True. That is actually correct. That is right. And not
Mhm.
not every content creator does that, by the way. So, I don't know. I think that's something that I wish people would not do. Not citing. They just say whatever, and they do not have anything factual in regards with um what they're saying. And I'm happy that you do that. That's so rare. That's so fucking rare. Sorry,
What, cite my sources?
sorry. I should not curse. But like no, because I think that's also one of my pet peeve. Because like some people or some creators would just say whatever, but like they didn't really research about it. So I'm happy that you cite your sources because not everyone does that. You
No,
know.
you can't just say whatever. You need to find out where the hell it was said.
Well,
Who the like? How
apparently,
is his research is done?
apparently not everyone does that for sure.
That's not how that's
They're
how
in because of clout and just saying things because like, oh, it's popular, I should say that. Oh my god.
oh my god. Yeah, no, the entire basis of healthcare is evidence-based practice. That's true in a doctor's in medical practice,
Mm-hmm.
in nursing practice, in respiratory therapists, and all practice is supposed to be evidence-based. So no,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna I will I always endeavor to do my best to ensure that whatever in terms of whatever information I do decide to say or put out there in terms of educating, in terms of my educational content, I will always cite my sources.
Please follow that, people. If you are gonna release content or like anything medical or even not medical,
Yeah, not even medical,
Be
just like
be
in general. Like,
factual. Come on, cite your freaking research about what you're saying, please.
yeah, like if you're gonna
I
quote
beg
someone,
you.
like get from the source. Jeez.
Exactly. I beg you, please cite your sources. Mm-hmm. And just don't. Just don't. Just do not release content that, you did not research about. I think that's something I hate because from, coming from TikTok, other like some shorts as well, people do not research stuff nowadays, which is sad. And uh and people would just believe whatever is in the internet. I wish that's not how it is. But like
All, all the more reason why I am doing the things I'm doing, because yes, this
exactly.
is happening. So here I am
Yeah.
as a VTuber trying to be like, actually no, this is how it's supposed to work.
Oh my god. People, come on, cite your research. Come on, it doesn't take you a second. Just search about what you're looking for. Just search about what you're saying, cause oh my god, again, pet peeve. I'm sorry, I am getting riled up because of that. I really
No, it's
hate
not
those.
just a it's not just a pet peeve. It's a problem. It's a
Oh
systemic
my
problem.
god, yeah.
It's a cultural and societal problem. It's not I feel your pain. I feel your pain.
I'm because as HR as well, we're used to getting evidences as well. We need that. We are very into documents. We need signed documents. We need to have everything um saved up, storage, every ow, why did I get bonked? But like everything that we have needs to be documented because that's how it should be. And like everything we say to everyone, or vice versa, company to employee, everything should be documented, not just for you to be, safe of whatever you did, whatever a company did. It's for everyone because that's how it should be. Everything should be saved up, factual and true, you know
Mm-hmm.
and I don't really get why people just do not just do not research. I Are you just lazy to not do that? Why would you even put that out? Anyway, um again, please cite your sources, everyone. Please be a responsible content creator. Do not just be here because of clout. It's there, but like, let's educate and be responsible. There you go. Thank you. Oh my god. Okay. Um Going back, let's move forward. I'm sorry I got riled up with that. That's
It's
just
okay.
I'm happy that you saved it. You have the same sentiment as me. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's go next. All right. I guess we're okay. All right. I don't want to um put this too long because I know Riko's also busy, but we'll go to our next one. What would be a day of a nurse during this holiday season for you?
What would be a day of a nurse during the holiday seasons? God, jeez. What's our daily life like? Well, at least in my clinic, we're either waking up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, so that way we can go into the shift,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're making sure that the patients are all supervised and they're on the machines. If not, we're also putting patients on ourselves because due to depending on the restrictions, uh, some patients have central lines that the patient care technicians can't touch. So that's only the RNs can do so.
Mm.
Um, because due to infection control, only the RNs are allowed to do that. Of course, depending on other areas in the country, techs can do that, but where I live, it's only the nurses. So we're juggling that on top of managing care, on top of giving medications, on top of communicating with the doctors. and then we repeat that within 12 hours. So that's not suffice to say anything were to happen in the middle of all of that. So say there's problems with, like, say in the middle of treatment, God forbid a bloodline gets dislodged, and next thing you know, you see blood everywhere. God dang. Oh, don't even remind me. God, 2 years ago, that was a hot mess. Oh man. Oh, like next scene, and geez, I don't even want to talk about that one, but that was traumatic. Um, uh, but then we're either dealing with doctors. You got to deal with doctor's orders that need to change on the fly, or have to deal with patient complaints. Had to deal with patient transportation. Sometimes that's not always there. Sometimes you got to deal with you know change dials with patient scheduling on the fly too, because oh, guess what, they're late, so you gotta bump them down to a different time, but you can't put them at this specific chair that they want, so you gotta put them at another chair, which is at another time later in the day, so unfortunately you don't get to go home early like you wanted to. uh, and that's not including later in the day when the patient family member is yelling at you for not doing the thing you want them to, but you don't listen to them because guess what? You take the doctor's orders and not the patient family because they don't have power of attorney. So repeat that um, for the next 2 weeks, and that was about roughly
Your
my
day.
my December. Yeah,
My God, you guys are so busy when holiday season
yeah.
can bring out really uh unexpected patients, I guess.
Yeah, they can. And that's the rough part because we so excuse me. we we get the we also get the brunt after Thanksgiving, in
Hmm.
which unfortunately people also get sick after the holidays.
True.
Next thing you know, they come down with something really bad, and fortunately, then comes acute kidney failure, and next thing you know, they're here in our clinic for months at a time. Hopefully, their kidneys recover and they don't need dialysis anymore.
Hmm.
But if they don't, then they become our permanent patients. So
Sheesh.
sometimes it's rough because it's like these some patients have the hope that they don't need to have the treatments, but
Mm.
fortunately that's not always the case. um,
Mm-hmm.
uh, that's that's the rough part. um, and sometimes we also, especially during the holidays, we get visitors from out of town or out of state, and they
Mm.
want to inundate our clinic, and they visit our clinic.
Mm.
They take up like all the open chairs that we have, so that for the
What?
rescheduling, and next thing you know,
Mm.
it's like, oh, now we don't have anywhere to put anywhere else so we can be flexible, and now it's like we can't do anything. You have to stick to the chair you want. So unfortunately, the holiday gets a hot mess just trying to figure out the logistics of things. Like just yesterday, I was trying to figure out our schedule for New Year's,
Hmm.
because so many patients want to reschedule. Because guess what? Who wants to be at the clinic on New Year's Eve?
Holidays.
Nobody wants to be at the clinic on New Year's Eve. They want to celebrate and be with family or friends or be out. I don't want
True.
to be there, but guess what? I'm there too.
Dude.
But what? I got to be there at 3 a.m. to open the clinic.
Mm.
But and so do a lot of patients. Got to be there at 4 for their treatments. So guess what? A lot of
Wow.
them want to come in at when treatments start at 4, and that's what a lot of my I spent like almost an hour or 2 hours like just trying to fix the schedule. Oh, but guess what? We get a fax from the surgeon's office about
Mm.
another patient who needs to have their fistula, the arteria the arterio ventricular fistula that we use for dialysis, which, not to get too off topic, but that's the permanent access we use, which is preferred over the central line, that needs to get fixed. But they want to do it on New Year's Eve of all days, and so I need to
What?
fix that schedule I fixed for another patient and switch them to another day. I'm like, it's a mess. uh,
She's such a very busy schedule.
yeah.
That
So,
reminds me, Vito here also is asking a question. Since you guys are always busy, he's asking like, what do you guys wear as footwear?
oh, oh God.
I've been,
Policy states.
yeah.
Policy states it needs to be closed-toe shoes, non-slip. Um, is that really done?
Is it really
Um, probably not.
though? I've been seeing like some nurses wearing Crocs though, because it's
Yeah,
comfy.
yeah. Should it be done? Should they be wearing Crocs? No.
I guess because like
Uh,
you guys are running around and Crocs are like one of the most comfortable shoes. Or
yeah, but if you get a blood spill, guess what? That blood's gonna be on your socks.
true, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, nice Fortnite Crocs. Guess what? You're gonna get a blood splatter on them.
That sucks though. But like, what do you guys do? What do you guys use? Do you guys like use like rubber shoes or
Preferably like either rubber or leather closed-toe shoes.
leather shoes? I haven't.
Uh, yeah, or something similar. Like for me, like I usually rock New Balance. Um,
Mm,
like, uh, because I'm getting old, so I got to choose something for the older people to wear.
the comfort. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always comfort. So,
True.
because I'm
True.
always because when I'm not at my desk, I'm always on my feet, and so
True.
it's always New Balance for me. Some other folks they prefer like I don't know why they want to invest in Hoka. I'm like it's too nice looking. Like so like I would and so for me because I got like those extra wide feet, it's New Balance for me. But honestly, whatever is most comfortable and can get you and can protect you from all the spills and
Hmm.
thrills from the nursing floor, wear what's best for you. um I'm just saying though, if you really want to wear Crocs on a dialysis floor, be my guest, but I'm not gonna get you new socks if you got blood on them.
Oh my god, you always have extra then. Oh yeah, it reminds me, do you guys spend on your scrubs? Or are those like provided by the hospital or are you
Those
guys
those are
buying those?
provided by us.
Oh, you
We get
guys
we get we do
mm.
get a uniform allowance, like at least 3 uniforms a year.
Oh, that's
Um,
good. Mm-hmm.
but if we want anything extra, that's on us.
Mm.
But we are limited to company colors. So, like, say for my VTuber model, you know how I get to wear this nice salmon pink? I don't get to
Yeah.
wear this daily life.
Really? What's
No,
the color of your uniform? I mean, if it's fine, but
no, I mean it's blue. It's
blue.
literally
Is
just
it
blue.
usually blue? Because I've been seeing like a lot of people having blue.
Yeah, it's just normally blue.
Normally
It's
blue.
yeah, it's just it's and it's either blue or like teal or some form of gray, but it's not. I don't get to wear fun colors at work. If
Mm.
you want to wear something different, you can, but you gotta pay out of pocket for that.
Mm-hmm. I see. I see. Well, at least I'm happy to know that you guys get allowances for that, because you're I don't think you guys are compensated enough to
Yeah,
um
we don't. Although
mm,
I will say though, I do have this fun idea of wearing an M. Dot Rage hyper white
hyper
their
wait.
hyper white a windbreaker jacket to
Oh.
work as their as my scrub coat because you know what, screw it, I'm gonna put some personality in my clinic because hey, if I'm gonna be if like if I'm gonna do something like if I'm gonna look I want to put like if
Stylish.
I'm gonna be I gotta look a little style. If I'm gonna look the part, I might as well look stylish doing it.
True. True. You at least look pretty, at least, be
Yeah,
presentable. Yeah. Well, that's good to know. Thank you. Thank you for enlightening us about that.
of course.
Any tips you wish to advise to patients during this holiday season, maybe?
Hmm. During this holiday season, especially, I mean, it is after Christmas now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's still New Year's. What
There
do
is
you?
still New Year's. Pace yourself. If you're gonna try to overdo it, but I wouldn't recommend overdoing it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Overdoing it
it is
with
the New Year.
alcohol, drinking,
Anything really.
anything? Oh.
Drinking, eating. Um, it's okay though because guess what? You know, it's only the one time a year, right? It
Mm.
just the issue is like doing it all the time. It's the one part
True.
of the year it shouldn't define your it shouldn't define how you are for the rest of the year. That's the thing. Um, but I think one of my biggest tips, one of my biggest pieces of advice is if you do have New Year's resolution, and especially, you know, I know this is going to be a big thing, you know, because I know a lot of people want to get gym memberships around this year, be like, I want to lose weight, I want to
Uh-huh.
get a better body, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the resolution that counts. It's discipline, it's forming habit, it's um, finding your motivation to do why you want to do things. You know, why are you doing the things you're doing? Um, what is your motivation? Like, do you just want to get fit and quote unquote healthier because you want to look good during in the summer to fit into that nice swimsuit,
Summer
or
bod.
yeah, or are you trying to get healthier because you know that there's some things about your health that need to be addressed? And those are very valid questions that you need to ask yourself of why you do the things you do. So maybe that's something you need to question yourself when you're making those resolutions. And making it, instead of thinking about trying to motivate yourself, because motivation is a one time thing, discipline. Discipline yourself. Make it habit forming. That's when change happens. It's when you do the thing even though you don't want to do it. That's how you get better at it. So that's my piece of advice there.
Nice, actually, nice advice. Yeah, there. Some people. I would be very guilty in regards with discipline as well, because sometimes I can be impulsive at times. But that is actually really good advice. Change doesn't just happen when you do it once. You need to form a habit. Again,
Hmm.
discipline on doing stuff, because that's where it would stem out and be kind of like a normal thing to you. So
Yeah.
yeah, good advice. Very good advice. Also, Aniki here says, please do not drive drunk. We don't want to see you in the ER. That is true.
Yeah. Don't
Don't drive
please
drunk,
don't
please.
please get a driver. Get a DD or get a Uber, Lyft, Grab, whatever that you use to try to get home. Get a taxi or use public transport. Find get a friend to help you out. For Christ's sakes, like help. There's
Help
or
yourselves.
help others by helping yourself and find some way. Don't get a creeper off the street. But
True.
we don't want to start the New Year's with you or somebody else hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely having my colleagues working hard on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day.
True.
We all deal with enough. We don't want to deal with b BS going heading into the New Year. So let's try to get into the new year with you know with a whole lot better prospects for all of us.
Agree, agree. Don't drive drunk. Help yourself. And, help our nurses. Give them a break this holiday season. Stay at home. Or just be careful, basically. Yeah. Thank you. That was good. Good advices, people. Thank you. Thank you. You don't want to live with the guilt of having hurt someone. True. That is also, you know, do not cause um do not cause inconvenience to others as well. Yes. And okay, we're almost done. Thank you so much for bearing with us or bearing with me with all of
Of
these
course.
questions. Thank you. Our next question is, what would be your advice for people planning on doing the same as you? like in being the medical
Ah,
field? What would be your advice?
um, part of it is what's your motivation for going into it? Because you can earn just as much money um, doing something else entirely without needing to deal with people. In all honesty, like why put yourself through so much stress, so much heartache, through so much bull crap, um, doing all of this when you can earn just as much, maybe behind a computer or behind a desk somewhere else, or or like say, um, or just not dealing with people in general, or even just working finance, or I don't know. I can't really say, but because nursing, um, like I shared before, it can get hard. It's it can get rough. It's not always sunshine and rainbows, but it's very rewarding. So you gotta ask yourself what you really want to, like what are your goals when you want to become a nurse? Like, yeah, you can do it. Just if you just want to earn the money, that's fine. Totally, that's totally valid. But you're gonna be hit with a lot going into it, and you're gonna get burned out very easily if that's all you want to do with the job and with the career. So find your motivation and why you want to do it. I mean, I have mine. I can't, but my motivation is my motivation. You have to find yours. Um, my wife has found hers, and it's and she wants to be able to help other people who were in her position of who were um, who were written off as um, unable to be diagnosed or considered, who weren't able to listen to her. So she wants to be that advocate. Um, so it's going to be different for everybody, and I think that's a personal decision how everybody wants to approach nursing. Um, but that's but that but that's a personal motivation. If you want some practical advice, um, I'd say do some volunteer work at a clinic or a hospital, and really get understand and try to see what the job entails, because or at least try to get some job, maybe consider becoming a caregiver or a patient care technician, and understand, like, what what the groundwork of that job is being, because I remember my nursing professor said to me, "You can't give them med unless you know how to make a bed." And that was the truth. Before I could pass medications, I had to learn how to make a bed. That was the groundwork. I had to learn how to wipe butts. I had to learn how to shave a person before I could learn how to give IV medications, before I could learn how to interpret labs. All of that was the basis of my care. So before you decide to go into this job, understand that you got to learn how to be really down there into it, and how it's not just um being in like my position of being like, or like, of telling like people what to do. You got to be able to work down and dirty. You got to be able to be on the floor and understand and be there, because it's the people who run the floor, who people who work the floor and work with the patients directly, that makes the whole of healthcare run. And I think that's what upper management and healthcare corporations seem to lose sight of.
I would actually love to add into that as well, because you are going to deal with people, and always, dealing with people will always be hard, will not be easy every time. So, you have to learn how to manage your patients as well, and manage your emotions as well, because
Mhm.
you'll be doing that every time. You'll be
Oh
meeting
yeah.
with people every time. So If
Oh
you're
yeah.
not up, if you're not into that, if you're, if you're afraid with people, if you're not a people person, I wouldn't really suggest going into the medical field, because, bro, why are you there when you're afraid of people? So,
Oh yeah. And that's the funny thing because I consider myself an introvert and I'm in an extrovert's field, and here I am. And not gonna lie, that I've had to lay down the law as a clinic manager to some patients, and patient family members, multiple times throughout this month. And unfortunately, I wouldn't say it wasn't pretty, but it's like that's a side of me I normally don't bring out.
mm.
I remember a patient like about to get all nasty because I was just doing my job. I was like educating them know, hey, your potassium is pretty high. Would you consider coming in for another treatment tomorrow? Because hey, having this high potassium could kill you if you're not careful.
Mm.
Unfortunately, he didn't want to have any of it, and instead of being respectful and saying no, I don't want, I wouldn't like to, no, thank you, he was just he was just going off,
My God.
and yeah, yeah, and I'm like, okay, we're not doing this, and like the strongest voice possible without it being obviously shouting. I told him, first of all, we're not doing this. You're not going to shout at me. You're not going to shout at my nurses and my techs, and you're not going to shout within the vicinity of of the patient. We've been treating you with respect this entire time. We expect the same thing in kind. You are not doing this here in the clinic. You got that?
And
And
that's,
like I
you
understand.
know,
I understand. Yeah, I understand that you're not that you don't want to talk about it, and that's completely fine. That's within your right. That's okay. But you do not act like this. And he was like asking, "Oh, where's your supervisor? Like, where's your manager?" And I told him, "I am the manager, and this is how it's gonna roll."
mm. And new people, if you're going to be in that position, you have to know how to manage your emotions as well.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like I had to be diplomatic and word it the best in the most managerial way possible. Internally,
Yeah.
internally, I was like, "This MFer here." Oh, but yeah, there was I really had to learn how to hold. You really have to learn how to hold back and when to have that professionalism in play whenever you're working. So it can be hard um, when you're nursing. Not when you're just as a manager, just even being on the floor. So um, that's something you have to learn how to gauge.
Yeah, I'd agree. And yeah, it's always hard to deal with people, but if you're gonna be there, at least know your expectations. And now we've told you, Riko have told you, and hopefully that helped you out with, if you're planning to be in this situation, um hopefully that helps you out with, deciding whether this is for you or not. Yes. And with that, I'd like to ask Rico one last question for our podcast today. What would the viewers
Okay.
look forward from you? Can you tell
Hmm.
us your contents, your plans? Tell us what would love to, what are your plans for us?
So, aside from my aforementioned video, my long form video that is still it's still in progress, but I hope I can release it at least sometime before the new year, but at least sometime right after New Year's. Um, I actually do have a, 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 a podcast live stream series.
Hey.
I have in works in late January. Um, it's called Virtual Vital Signs. I'm
Hmm.
inviting other VTubers to talk about their health conditions and how their treatments, how they coping with it, how they feel about it, and their health goals, and how I can help and how how we can educate the audience, our viewers, and how the VTube and how like I can help educate the VTubers about their condition if they don't know more, if they don't know much about it, um, to help the community understand. Hey, these are behind our virtual avatars that we have, that we're using. We're real people behind these, and we have our own issues too. We have scars and problems that we deal with, that we cope with, but we're still getting by. And that hey, it's time, and it's something that we need to recognize, and perhaps um we can learn from each other. So I'm hoping that with the virtual vital signs, um it can bridge the gap to let people know, hey, maybe it's something, maybe we need to look more about our own health, um as well, when we talk more about it, because we don't talk about it as often as we should. I mean, we talk about like what I know, like a lot of VTubers are, um I know it's like some prominent VTubers like are open about, some of them are open about their health, but not everyone is like, but do they know about their health? Are they educated about their health? Um, I had I got in touch with a VTuber that unfortunately they've I reached out to. Unfortunately, they've had to go to the hospital multiple times because I was afraid they had to, they were having stroke symptoms. I
Ooh,
find out they've Yeah, I found out it's their medication that was causing the issues. So it's like, oh my god. So luckily, luckily they're doing fine now. But it's some stuff like that. I'm like, okay, you know what? This probably wouldn't have happened if we had like some proper management, and maybe if you knew more about your condition, and maybe it's something we need to talk about. So I'm hoping through my 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 podcast interview series, um, that it'll help put some dialogue within the VTuber community, and maybe and more about health in general. Um, who knows? Maybe I'll able to get like some IRL professionals on board to help to talk about the issues as well. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys look forward to it too.
great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rico. I hope you guys like look forward to that podcast. I would look forward to that. I think that's very educational. And I think as educators or edutainers, we'd love to make sure that you guys at least learn something from us. And hopefully you guys learned something from us today on this podcast. I think that's always my goal, to educate people about a lot of things. Um, and I hope you guys were entertained with our yappings and experiences. Rika has really provided us good insights in regards with how nursing is, experiences as well, and hopefully you guys were able to absorb, those stuff. Can you share your socials, please, Rico?
Oh yes, of course. It's Rico Siempre all across the board. So youtube.com/ Rico Siempre, twitch.tv/ Rico Siempre, Twitter, Pray, Blue Sky, Rico Siempre.vtubers.social, um, even TikTok, although I'm pretty sure that's going to be put to pasture in the US, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm that you'll find me all the way down. I mean, even on Steam, Xbox, whatever. If you want to see me there, even on Discord. I don't have my own Discord server. I usually like to jump around different people's communities because I really don't have time for my own to make my own community or anything like that, because I like to support other people's. That's the thing. That's how I am. I support other people, and because I like, that's how I am. I support people, and I want to support everyone. and that's why I do things. Do the stuff I do. People need support, understanding, and love, and that's me. No, that's just sappy old me there.
Perfect. Thank you. I hope you guys follow Rico on his socials. I've linked a couple of it on chat. Go ahead and
talking about support.
yeah.
I would like to. It's a little late, but I would like to show my support for you, Elena, for inviting me. So here you go.
Huh?
Wait for it.
Oh, yo! Oh my
There you go.
god! Thank you! Thank you so much for the sub, Rico! Yo! Amazing. Thank you. I
Yep,
appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
My god, hopefully.
Yeah.
My gifts! Thank you so much! Oh my god,
Yep.
it's a big eye train. Thank you, Rico. You've been supporting me, especially on my last donathon as well. Thank you for, giving support. I appreciate it. And thank you.
course.
I hope to see
You know
you
what?
further. You know what?
Please tell me to God you don't have those bit things on, do you?
I do have that one here. Yeah.
Oh God, why would you do that to yourself?
Why? It's not. I did not.
Is it on or is it not on?
It's turned on.
Oh, it is turned on.
Oh my god! Are you guys gonna do that again?
Oh. Why would you
Oh
say
my
that?
god! Wait, are we gonna do it?
I'm gonna have fun with this. Hang on, guys.
Oh my god! Oh my god! HR is being showered by. Oh my. Oh my goodness! Wait, this will take a while.
This is good.
Oh my god! It's still 3-1 by the way. So like
Oh man.
the shower.
I'm
This is
showering
going-
you with love and support.
Wait, I'm sorry. It will take a while. It's not done yet. Oh my god! How many? Wait. Let's finish this. Why did I put this to myself? I forgot. Actually, you know what? Fine. Shower with the bits. Let's go. It's not done yet. It's taking a while. I'm so sorry. HR is done for right now.
Okay. That was great.
It's not stopping. It's not. Okay, there we go. Oh my god, Rico. But thank you so much for thank you so much for the bits and for the support again. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being my guest, for taking time on giving time to being interviewed here. I really had fun. I actually have fun with our conversation. I hope to see you further into the stream. I hope I get to drop by on your stream when you stream. And
Of course.
yeah, thank you so much for having for taking time to be here. I really
Of course.
appreciate
I'm
it.
glad to be aboard.
Thank you. Also, thank you so to everyone. You guys are really good chats. Thank you so much for the questions, Vito, as well. You got really, really good questions. I appreciate that. I like it. Thank you. And everyone for the raid as well, Celis. Thank you so much for raiding, bring your awesome community here. And thank you so much for supporting Riko as well. It's okay. It's fine. The bongs are there. It keeps me alive. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, I guess that's it for episode 5. Thank you so much for joining us on today's podcast. I will still be streaming because I will be playing with friends. But yeah, thank you so much. I will be uploading this one on YouTube, by the way. And I will be doing some clips as well, and we'll be posting it soon. And I hope you guys have happy holidays. Thank you, Merry. No, Happy New Year now. Happy New Year. Happy
It
New
was a
Year.
pleasure being here.
Thank
Happy New Year's,
you.
guys.
Thank you,
Make 2025 a good
everyone.
one.
See you. See you. I will be putting us on break. See you. Bye.
Peace.